our group studied the BYU Testing Center. We evaluated students, professors, and employees to find out which elements of the testing center need updating.
The testing center has a problem. It's too crowded, lines are too long, and the systems are out of date.
Over the past 5 years, the testing center has made marginal improvements, but mostly have taken amenities away, like the immediate scoreboards and the snacks.
On average, BYU students take 9 tests per semester. Through our interviews and surveys, we found the main pain points are the long waits to take tests, the lack of personal space in the testing center, and insufficient test submission process.
We examined each of these problems as well as individual interview findings and came up with prototypes on how to make changes.
My POV statement says students at the testing center need a more focused area to take technically based tests because there are too many distractions in the current setup to facilitate deep thinking and recall. To best create this deep thinking environment, we need to reduce the amount of people walking in and around and between students while they're taking tests. Especially for these calculation-heavy exams, students will often spend 3 to 4 hours in the testing center, and all the distractions of people constantly getting up and moving around and looking for seats are very distracting. Our prototype is to create to divide the testing center in two and have a set of desks that are reserved specifically for calculation-heavy tests, specifically for longer test takers. The other half of the testing center will cater to the quicker tests. We believe that this split will help to eliminate the amount of extra movement and the amount of students walking between and around, and hopefully eliminating a little bit of the anxiety that comes.
The end user I focused on was testing center student employees. These employees need a better system for handing out and monitoring test taking. One of their largest pain points is losing track of tests. They have to hand them out in sequential order, and if one is missing, they have to find the missing tests before handing out tests to the other students. Because of this, I decided to make the entire testing center online. This way, there would be no scantrons or physical tests to take care of. Employees' main responsibility will be to seat students and then watch to make sure no cheating happens. The environment will be much quieter and less stressful for everyone involved.
For my point of view section, I focused on the professors and their interaction with the testing center. Right now, professors are having to print out physical copies of their tests, create a testing sheet, cover sheet, and then carry all of these tests over to the testing center. There they drop it off and sometimes are rejected, and this takes a lot of time. So my point of view statement is professors and their secretaries need a more efficient way to submit their tests so that they can save time to get to other tasks. Because this is my point of view statement, I focused on creating an online way to submit tests. Professors would be able to log into the testing center website, and they would be able to click on a section that says Submit Online Test. From there, they would select their class, and they would say how many days they wanted the test to go for, when it should start, how many tests should be printed, and if there was any special instructions. Then they would submit a PDF version of their test, which the testing center would print and administer, eliminating time and pain for the professors.
Alice and I studied all students at BYU and their testing center experience. The biggest pain point we found was different aspects of the testing center line. The testing center is not built for students to study in, and when there is a line, they waste their time. The line caused many students to be more anxious, which resulted in their test scores being lower than anticipated. We found that the mixture of nowhere to study and being forced to wait in line needed to be fixed.
For our prototype, Travis and I came up with a solution to both the problem of having to wait in line and nowhere to study in the testing center. Instead of students going to wait in line when they are ready to take a test, they will get on to the testing center website and put their name, their login information, and which test they are planning on taking into the system. This automatically puts them into a queue. They have the option to receive a text notification or an email notification when the testing center is ready for that student to come take their test. At that point, the student will receive the text or the email telling them they have 15 minutes to make it to the testing center. This way, when they show up to the testing center, the person will already have this individual's test, and bubble sheet ready to go. There will be no line, and so this allows the student to stay wherever they choose on campus to study for as long as they possibly can before going to the testing center to take their test.